In the middle of Central Oregon lies the most influential climbing area in America, Smith Rock. A place that was once considered to be nothing more than a pile of rubbish with a few crack climbs has been turned into one of the best and densest crags in the country, thanks to this man, Alan Watts. Where others saw useless piles of dirt, he saw diamonds in the rough. And he knew the only way to get there: wrap bolting with a power drill. On this episode, we're going to talk through the 3 things that make Smith Rock one of the premier crags in the world. And Smith Rock has a history of being bold. So stick around until the end so we can give you some tips on how to not end up on one of these. We're out here in Central Oregon at the absolutely epic Smith Rock, the birthplace of American sport climbing.
Ooh. Wow, that's really pretty. It's only the first time you get to see this.
As you get down, the walls just seem to get taller and taller. In my mind, I always thought you go to Smith Rock in the winter, it's perfect temps, it's crisp, but you climb in the sun, dry, it's high desert. What do we got on our forecast, Brittany?
It's called for rain every day that we're here, except for today, which I think there's still a chance, and there's definitely clouds, but we did get a peak of sunshine this morning. And then we're gonna try to come back on Monday, but I think it's 50-50 chance of rain.
It's a 50-degree Saturday. Curious to see how crazy the wall is gonna be, because there's certainly people here. We're going to the Dihedrals, which is, I think, like the most popular crag.
With America's first 514, which was to bolt or not to be.
And this has to be the Dihedrals. I guess that could also be the Dihedral. Brittany thinks she sees chain reaction of her. Oh yeah, there it is. And the walls are just looking absolutely sick.
Alright, I might be climbing.
And I'm definitely climbing. Trying to figure out what route to climb. No, that's not it. There it is, okay. First up is the most classic climb that you didn't know you've already seen 1,000 times. Chain reaction. This route alone is well worth the trip. I mean, it is just so sick. Big moves between awesome holds set you up and trick you into thinking the arret's going to be a jug. It isn't. And unfortunately for me, I decided that the sleet wasn't going to stop me. Everything was going well until I got to the wet arrets.
Nice.
A couple of precarious clipping positions.
Come on. It's snowing.
Needless to say, we didn't send on this day. However, we gotta come back for this one. The second thing to know about Smith Rock is not only are there super classic routes, but they are stacked on top of each other. I mean, just around the corner from Chain Reaction, there is To Bolt or Not to Be, the country's first 514. There are endless 5.7 to 5.14a climbs, and enough to go there for months and not climb them all.
Now the knobs are nice.
Whoa. Sick.
Sick as!
Here we've got midnight at darkness or something like that, noon at darkness. Anus cling.
Which looks so sick.
Looks really, really good, including the extendo. As classic Smith Rock would have you. First bolt is there. What do we think that is, 15 feet?
Yeah.
One of the necessities for staying safe while sending at Smith Rock is a stick clip that goes to at least 12, preferably 15 feet. Look at these fucking towers. My lord. Look at this shit. Up a freestanding pillar. I'd be calling this camel face. Not too crowded out here today. Smith Rock seems to have a little bit of something for everybody. Pretty classic looking 5.7 next to another 5.7, next to another 5.8, next to some 5.12s and 5.13s.
Is that the first clip? Nice. Yeah.
While Smith has tons of classic lower angle climbs, it's best known for its vertical crimp fests with loads of small edges and pockets. Perfect example is this climb here, Dreamin', a 5-star classic. This has to be one of the most unique climbs I've ever done. It starts off with a decently steep boulder problem. Then you grab thin edges for about 50 feet. One of the unique things about Smith is that it's a very particular style. There's all these little nubbins that you're just trying to pinch between your fingers. You can often see climbers' elbows starting to flare out, pinching these nubbins. And after you've already climbed 70 feet, you encounter an intimidating 5-foot wide roof, which just so happens to have a glory jug waiting for you at the end. That's seriously one of the sickest routes I've ever climbed. So psyched. Some pretty nice runouts between bolts. You never felt like you were gonna die. You just felt like, whoa, I'm gonna fly. The third thing that separates Smith Rock from pretty much every other climbing area we've been to is that it's got climbs for all types of people. Climbs for beginners. I have my hands held. For strict sport climbers. For serious crushers who only want to try 5.13 and 5.14. And also for trad dads who can't help but bring their rack to a sport climbing area.
Sight.
On site!
The Wacos were just as cool as I thought they would be. I'm really glad I got to touch them. Giant jugs. Just like wrapping your arms in them. It's so fun. All day trad.
Oh, 12A trad. That's scary. I like sport bolts.
I bet you sport climbs the whole circle.
As is standard behavior, we've come to a sport climbing area to climb a trad. Well, this is actually mixed, but it looks so mega that we gotta give it a rip. Crossfire is yet again another Alan Watts masterpiece. Starts off with some really fun, pretty straightforward 5'10" crack climbing with very weird gear. The cracks are so jagged and seem to always flare at the bottom. Place a extended number 3 and an extended number 4 in this big hole and then blast off right into the crux. Fortunately, you get a bolt to clip right before you do the crux, so it's well protected. These are climbs that would be totally impossible without bolts. Alan Watts was the first person in the US to use these tactics. Despite creating this wonderful playground, he was criticized by most. Bolting on rappel was violently opposed by many of the top US climbers, including the likes of John Backer. Another one of those Smith classics, where before you know it, you're 10 feet above your last bolt, and the exposure kicks in, and it almost feels like you're several hundred feet off the ground, not a mere 105 feet.
That was fucking sick.
One thing you always need at Smith Rock is a stick lift. Bring it. As fortune would have it, on the last day, right about sunset, we headed back to Chain Reaction to try to get some vengeance. However, there were people on it. So after waiting 20 minutes, we got our turn. Everything was going smooth until we hit the last clip, and there was just no chance that I was holding on. Fortunately or unfortunately, this is one of the many reasons we'll have to come back to Smith Rock in the future. And when you plan your own trip to Smith, keep in mind, always check the weather. We got owned by it a couple of days. Ideally, come for a week or two just to get used to the style, because it is very unique. And 3, don't be afraid of the runouts. They exist, but mostly in terrain you can fall on without major consequences. So it turns out it doesn't only rain in Smith Rock. There are actually dry days too.
And sunshine.
And sunshine.
Who knew? It was a really, really, really fun day.
Uh-oh.
Weather.
We got a rig machine, half man, half machine! Ah! And it seems like the sunsets here always slap.
It's just so gorgeous.
Even an idiot could be a photographer here. We'll leave most of you with a beautiful video of this bald eagle and encourage you to check out one of these other videos we know you'll love. But for those who want to see a bit more, here's some behind the scenes at what Smith Rock really felt like.
So hot today. We've got 2 pairs of pants on.
I've got an extra pair of pants in my bag.
I said I can't feel my leg.
But what's new?
Yeah, right.
At the lovely river, which I think we're taking a dip later, right, Jack?
I definitely want to take a dip.
Yeah. But I didn't notice that there were boaters in Smith. For those of you who didn't know, there's a bolting moratorium here. That's of 2019. So if you try to bolt here, get fucked. Bung. Polio.
Hey,
Oh my god, he's French free climbing.
free.
Is this El Capitan? Passat. And then I went, Passat. And then I said, my left Passat's pretty tired. I need a right Passat. You better not have fun while climbing. Despite popular belief, fun is job number none. You should have none of it. I didn't say. One lonely boulder.
Goes through the creek.
Creek. Not to be confused with the creek
creek
behind
the
us.
creek.